turn on your notification bell. You will still get those information you are looking for. Thank you.
IPOB reacts to the news of arrest of his alleged female executioner, saying she was handed a poorly written script. That's what Ipob say. Yes, Ipob, the media and publicity secretary of the IPOB, is saying that the woman they said they have arrested, the army, the police, and the security agencies said they have arrested, that is, she's an executioner of the IPOB. She's accused for IPOB, a woman. IPOB is saying, look, this is childish. That the people who are parading her, said they have handed over her to her a poorly written script. Poorly written script. Yes, to be saying the trash as she has been saying about the IPOB and what she has been doing. Look, yes, look at hear the statement of IPOB through Ipob, and I quote now. It said, from the so-called confessional statement of the purported female executioner, she claimed to have joined the ESN 4 months ago, shows that she was handed a very poor script, because IPOB stopped the recruitment of ESN operatives since 2020 before our leader formally inaugurated ESN in December 2020. After the inauguration, there has not been any recruitment of new ESN operatives. Ipob has announced severally via Radio Biafra, press releases, and other media outlets that it has stopped recruitment of new operatives into its ESN. As the media and publicity secretary of the IPOB, and have written several press releases informing the public and those who may be concerned that ESN does not have any camp in Enugu-Ezike. More so, Mazi Chinasa, in more than one of his Radio Biafra programs, anchored by Mazi Chinedu Jonathan, publicly said ESN has no camp in the Enugu-Ezike in Enugu State. If for the sake of argument any camp exists in this locality, then that must be one of those camps set up by the Nigerian government, collaborators to carry out its evil bidding with the sole objective to blackmail IPOB, as in this ludicrous instance of a so-called female executioner. The people of Igbo North and South know very well that IPOB has no base in their locality. The caricature of the so-called female executioner, if it is real, shows clearly that the girl is working with the Nigerian government collaborators to impersonate ESN in Enugu-Ezike. A cursory observation of the female executioner in question with her hairstyle tells discerning minds all they need to know. IPOB repudiates every attempt by the Nigerian government through its sponsored collaborators. The Nigerian government should know by now that IPOB can neither be blackmailed nor be intimidated by the Nollywood movies they are acting, because they are very predictable and we know their game plans even before they execute them. We have always maintained that ESN created by the IPOB leader does not get involved in any form of crime. They are disciplined and dedicated men and women who volunteer to safeguard our land against marauding, invading terrorists in our forests and farmlands pretending to be herdsmen. They protect our people and do not harm them. IPOB and ESN abhor any form of criminality generally, but more especially in our territory. Crime is not on our agenda. Our agenda remains unchangeable, and we must achieve it by the grace of God Almighty, Chukwugabiama, who controls the universe. Our sole aim is to ensure that Biafra's freedom is achieved in a peaceful and universally recognized democratic process called a referendum. We therefore state that anybody linking IPOB and ESN to any form of criminality must be under the influence of drugs or just doing the dirty blackmail job for the Nigerian government. IPOB will not succumb to their sponsored blackmail and propaganda. We have come a long way and cannot be distracted by cheap blackmail on this clarion call to restore the Biafran sovereign nation. End of quote. You have seen the statement from the IPOB through his spokesperson, Ipob. Now, This is what Ipob said. Yes, he said the caricature of the so-called executioner, female executioner, if it is real, it shows clearly that the girl is working with the Nigerian government, collaborators to impersonate ESN in any way. So IPOB have been saying this thing. Say, look, we don't have camp in Enugu. If you're saying anything there, that is you are trying to, it's a blackmail after all. Yes, and then we have stopped recruiting. People say they have stopped recruiting members into the ESN since 2020. So people who are joining, I said that I joined last year. I joined 2021. These are the the handiwork of this Nigerian government and their secret agencies. That's what they're doing. They don't have business other than to carry propaganda, cheap blackmail, very cheap. And you have seen that this one is cheap. Yes, it's very cheap. Now, when you look at what Ipob said, you know that this one is a cheap one. Oh. They didn't do it well. Yes, they did not do their work very well to bring out this one. Say, look at the hairstyle of that person. Look at her shape and her face and everything. You will begin to understand. If you have the discerning, mind, you will know the Jinaga Noba and Jinaga na Mbobo. You will know it. Jinaga Noba and Jinaga na Mbobo. Yes. You will understand. Look, this one is going to the barn, this one is going to the farmland for cultivation. The yam that we're talking about. So these are the things we're talking about. These are the realities, And the federal government is not, backing down. So IPOB said they will not back down too in their quest to ensure freedom for Biafrans. And IPOB said, look, ESN will not kill people that are defending. A group created to defend the zone in the absence of anything. Of course, we are in this country. We know what the Fulani herdsmen have been doing to the people of Nigeria. It's not, something that we tell ourselves again because we are aware of it. We know it. Don't, And now when you have seen how the people of the southern Nigeria, the people of southwest, have devised means, create a moteku, say they have to protect themselves. The people of the southeast are watching with keen interest in how these people will do their own. The people of the southeastern governors will do their own. For where? Whose side? They were afraid of Buhari. The people of the southwest did their own. Buhari was crying. Malami was shouting on the top of his voice. So look, to stop this thing. The governor of Ondo State, who is the chairman, Southwestern Governors Forum, who is also APC man, he stood his ground. Said, look, Buhari, this will not be party man. This will not be party matter. Let me say we'll be party, the same party. I must protect my people. We must ensure the protection of the Southwestern people. And they did it. They created a moteco. But people of South is for where? They refused to do it. Komahi was want to become president. He was dancing. He was the chairman of he's even the chairman up until this moment. That is Governors Forum. Supposed to lead. But because he has intention to succeed Buhari, whose side they have disappointed him roundly. Shame. So because of that, his obnoxious ambition, and he said no, they will not establish anything. So there was a vacuum. It was real. Onyendu has to fill it with ESN. Now ESN was doing well before Buhari told the Southeastern governors to start chasing ESN. And they obeyed him. They started chasing them. The chief insecurity officers of Imo and the Ebonyi State were leading in that chase. And others were doing their own like the Abia, the Enugu, and the Anambra then. Obiano, they were chasing, misbehaving. You have seen it. And so that is what we are saying. That is what happened. And the ESN have been doing wonderfully well, save that they have been pushing, the army and everything, the Southeastern governors and everything has been pushing them, tormenting them, trying to, stop the activities of this ESN and, completely overwhelm them. That's what they have been doing, using blackmail, using everything, so that the people of Southeast will be against ESN, against IPOB and everything. So these are cheap blackmail. These are the propaganda they are carrying out, saying female executioner. Nigerians are knowing, they are aware. The people of the Biafrans are aware. Yes, if you say you're not aware, you want to play to the gallery. That's all. You want to play to the gallery. If you believe this thing, that this is a female execution of the IPOB, it then means you as a person, you want to play or you wish to play to the gallery because you know that this is cheap blackmail and a very, poorly, poor